ultimately, we're all afraid of being judged. And that's kind of the biggest thing, that we're afraid that someone's going to call us out and call us stupid. And I mean, this was something that held me back for a long time. Like, the worst thing you can tell me, you can call me ugly, you can call me all sorts of things that I couldn't give a rat's tail, but like, tell me I'm stupid. And like, that's like the ultimate insult. And so like, I live in fear of someone telling me that I'm dumb. And so I think a lot of us are kind of like that. And so in order to protect ourselves, we just don't do anything. And so we're happy learning and safe in our little bubble. And so, I mean, even like when you guys call me, like I turn red, right? And still 94 episodes later, and I still do it. It freaks me out. But I do it anyway.
This is the online trainer show. This is the online trainer show. We shouldn't have a podcast.
Send it to me. You don't need it. You don't deserve it. You really don't. You really don't. For the folks, welcome to the podcast. Now, I know we started recording now. We're just discussing with Amber how horrendous her microphone techniques are. Like, she's got some kind of short circuit thing with her computer. She's got a Dell laptop from 1995. And apparently the microphone jack thing doesn't work. Dude, you're getting a Dell. How annoying was that kid, by the way?
Your computer is.
Oh, that's a bit better. That's a bit better. But it doesn't work. So I've decided, as a co-host of the podcast, and I'm well within my power to do this. My power extends this far, per the contract. I've decided that she no longer deserves her microphone. She needs to send it to me directly. The next episode, I'll have 2 microphones. I'll be heard in stereo and double stereo. Is there a double stereo? What's that, quadro? I'll be heard in quadro for the next several podcasts. I'm going to sound like Thanos after he got the last Infinity Stone from here on out. Because Amber doesn't deserve us. Jonathan's, as always, enthralled by the conversation here so far.
He's just gone. You can see his eyes are vacant. He has this lost expression on his face.
He's literally paying no attention whatsoever to what I'm doing.
Absolutely none. I heard Thanos. That's literally all that I heard.
He's like literally looking off into space while we talk.
I'm getting over a cold, so I'm a little bit spaced.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Also pay no heed. No, how do you say? I'm paying no heed to the conversation. No stead.
I think you're just high on Benadryl. Just admit it.
Probably so.
I think it's just funny whenever Carolina posts on Facebook. I find I take so much pleasure. I take so much pleasure in assuming that every time anybody posts on Facebook, they're having a personal conversation with me that is meant to be taken 100% literally.
So this is your PSA, listeners. If you have not yet friended Jonathan Goodman on Facebook, you're still in time. Do not do it. Do not friend him. He's awful. He's the worst Facebook friend to have. So don't.
He is a terrible, categorically across the board, in every way you can measure a Facebook friend, Jonathan Goodman is literally the worst. The worst Facebook friend you can. When they did the testing for the platform, right? When Zucks, I can call him Zucks. Me and Zuckerberg we're on a last name abbreviated basis. When Zucks was at Harvard with the other kids, building, they're like, who do we not want on a platform like this? And they were like, any sort of middle class raised nice Jewish boy, with large calves from Canada. Yeah. That's the opposite of our demographic. And Jonathan
basically wise ass Jewish guys with very little to do over the course of their day. That's who we do not want on this platform.
And yet here we are with the wisest ass nice Jewish boy. Yeah, Jonathan, just the random commentary on your posting. If you're friends with Jonathan Goodman, we can all attest you won't enjoy it. Like it's not going to be enjoyable for you.
It's just really funny. Like let me go down my Facebook feed. It's just really funny to take things completely literal.
Yes,
That's what you do.
that is what you do. And it's so obtuse, like to anybody who doesn't know what Jonathan is doing. I cringe thinking about my poor family back in Mexico, my friends trying to make sense of like, why is this guy so literal in every single one of Caro's posts?
And this is the trap, because you end up explaining to the other people on Facebook that you know who the Jonathan Goodman person is. What does that Jonathan person make comments like that? Well, he's a little bit strange. We
love him
funny.
Anyway.
We don't follow him
just as he is.
I mean, if you say Carolina 3 hours ago, the cat isn't allowed on the bed, and you show a picture of a cat on the bed, it seems to me that if the cat isn't allowed, then the cat shouldn't be on the bed. Why are you posting this on Facebook? Get the damn cat off the bed.
Like, normal people just laugh, and then they share pictures of their own cats doing stuff that they're not allowed, and that is hilarious, right? Those are my normal friends. And then there's Jonathan.
A simple LOL, Jonathan. You know how they say it takes less muscles in your face to smile than it does to frown? Like, it literally takes less characters to just go along with the Facebook post than it does to heavily critique it. Those floors are nice. That's a really nice floor you have.
According to Carolina on March 30th, and I apologize I didn't do this, Carolina.
Here we go.
I was supposed to stop what I was doing to hear you out. Because, wait for it, you're drinking a protein latte.
Yes.
Now.
Oh, man.
I'm really, really sorry that I didn't stop what I was doing. I scrolled right past that.
Fail.
I didn't.
Thank you.
Didn't do it. March 30th, also, the same day, you used the term screaming butt in your workout. Good to know.
I saw the screaming butt post. I thought that was particularly enjoyable. Butts don't generally scream. Thank you, listeners, Lithuania in particular, because you guys ride heavy with
Greece.
us. Like,
we got Greece too. Yeah.
We got big in Greece. But Lithuania, from the start, like, if we had a ride or die listenership, it would be Lithuania. Like, Lithuania's ride. We're like Will Smith, right? And Lithuania's like Martin Lawrence. And it's like, we ride together, we die together, bad boys for life. That's our relationship with Lithuania. Like, much akin to Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Jonathan Goodman Ruins the Internet. Lithuania. You're welcome. And he's looking actively now for more things to ruin on the internet.
No, I'm just we're talking. I got a message from somebody.
Oh, okay, all right. I was about to say it's a bit too meta for me. Like, I don't want to talk about you ruining the internet while you're actively avoiding us so that you can participate in ruining the internet. It's a terrible. Kettle, what's going on with you?
Yeah, let's do that. That's cool.
Enough about Jonathan. We've taken too much time talking about Jonathan Goodman, first of all. So we only have one firm podcast rule. Jonathan's relegated to travel stories only. So, Keto, what's going on with you?
I am right now fighting for the title of Crazy Bird Lady on my street. You know, I'm hanging up all the bird feeders because I am apparently now into competitive bird watching.
You're a competitive bird watcher. Now is that keto?
Really excited, and then I text Jeff, and I'm like, "Oh my God, there's a pair of blue jays! I wonder if they're gonna have babies here!" Ah, she's like, "Oh God."
No, nobody knows what you just said, kiddo. First of all,
yeah.
Second, competitive bird watching, is that paleo or keto? I get confused with CrossFit. Which dietary protocol is intermittent fasting? Yeah, yes. Competitive bird watching is synonymous with intermittent fasting. That only makes sense. I love birds, by the way. There are birds here in North Carolina, as you might imagine. Too, huh? We have birds here too. Yeah. My grandmother was a big bird watcher. I told you guys on a previous episode that my grandmother was the one that taught me that when you see a cardinal, it's pretty much the opposite of a blue jay, which is very telling. But when you see a cardinal, that you're supposed to blow it a kiss. It's good luck. So to this
Oh,
day,
that's very sweet.
to this day, as an adult 46-year-old, soon to be 47-year-old man, if I'm driving my super cool black on red Volkswagen GLI Autobahn 35th anniversary edition 6-speed vehicle, and I see a cardinal, I will blow a kiss from that vehicle, which is the least cool looking thing. And turn sunny a it's like, that dude beside us, he just blow a kiss at that bird, bro. Hey man, go ahead and take the light. Don't sit beside him.
One of my favorite comments ever. You know what the car is? The Toyota Yaris, Yaris.
Yes, absolutely. It's a fully functional and very very economical vehicle.
It was this was like the fun. I just remember hearing this and I was like, oh, nice Toyota Yaris, bro. Does that come in mail? And it was just, I don't even remember anything about the context of what it was, how it was said, or who it was said to, anything. It was just one of those like...
Oh, man. So for all of the feminists out there, that's Jonathan Goodman. I think it's Jonathan at ptdc.com. Is that correct? Send those email replies to his...
That email is will not go directly to me. Most of my emails will not go directly to me. The email account that does go directly to me, I'm not going to give here. So if you do want to get in touch with me, the easiest way is amber@theptdc.com.
Any complaints about Jonathan should be sent directly to Amber for distribution. She's got 6 categories of Jonathan Goodman complaints. She's got to categorize that thing.
She has folders. She has
right,
she has filters for folders.
Essentially his handler. So yes.
Like Westminster Dog Show. She's a handler. Jonathan Goodman coming up. His handler, Amber Reynolds. Jonathan's like he got the sunnies on. He's like a well-trained purebred. So. What are we talking about? Execution. Are we talking about execution?
Check it out.
Very nice, very nice.
You did a trick that we can't describe because it's a podcast.
Another visual aid on an audio production.
Terrible.
It's been about a year now. We've still not learned our way around that.
Check it out.
We don't intend to. No, Jonathan, we've seen it once. We've seen your trick once.
Oh, when is our 100th episode? Are we doing something for our 100th?
Amber's like, we're not even doing anything for this one.
Exactly. Actually, this is on Ren. We talked about doing something for the 100 and doing a live, and Ren said he got it. So
I think that's what. Well, I said I'd help us promote it. I didn't
that's not how it
got it. I can.
Yeah, I heard you say that you got it and you were going to organize the whole thing and you weren't going to be paid anything for it.
And using
That's exactly what I heard. I heard the same thing, Jonathan. Yeah, so I think we need to. I think doing a live episode would be awesome.
I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good. You know, get like 2 or 3 people there watching. Just blow the numbers to the roof, man. Just amazing. Probably, I can only imagine. I wonder how many complaints we would draw in comments in either one of the groups. Podcast seems a bit long, bro. I don't think the USPs there don't like. I can only imagine. I don't even ask questions in there anymore. That's a different subject. We're talking about execution today. Is that right? Is that what we're talking about?
Niche versus generic and how to execute.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
That's the last thing that I saw here. I am going by what was written in the Slack.
You clearly didn't participate in the topic selection, as always.
I tried. That was me trying right there.
You were very engaged throughout the process.
That's the baiting statement that we left. We're like, it'd be cool. Let's leave the wrong thing as the last topic to bait Catalina into talking about it on the podcast.
We should do that.
Worked like gangbusters. Did we not already? Have we not already done that? I enjoyed it. Jokes on you, Keto. Yeah. Joke's on you, kiddo.
So the
Amber,
topic, I think the topic is how to execute.
I think that's what it is. I think
All
that's
right.
what it is. And that makes sense. So we have this sort of ongoing, what's the right, battle's too strong a word, maybe gentle misunderstanding about the difference between planning and doing, right? Because you can only plan so much. And the reason you can only plan so much, as Amber knows, as a professional dog handler, working with Jonathan on a consistent basis, the reason that you can only plan so much is because you never know what they say in showbiz, because I'm the showbiz link to this production. Everybody knows that. If you're not familiar with my group Fortress, that dominated the local airways in the 90s. And by local, I mean all of our vehicles. That's where most of our music could be heard. But, I'm the link to the showbiz, to the biz, as they say. And in showbiz, they say, never work with children or animals, right? You never know what you're going to get.
So let me, can I say something?
Yeah, I want you to say something,
because I feel like you're pulling at straws a bit here.
Yeah,
I can. Like, you do such a good job of making sure there's no silence, but sometimes there's just not much.
It's just random talking.
Yeah, which is fine. Fortress. There was four. This was the symbol, wasn't it? It was four fingers because it was Fortress, right?
Oh, my stomach's hurting.
It was like four and then T, right? T.
No, it was not that elaborate, Jonathan.
Okay.
Thank you for picking up right where I left off with my nonsense. You literally interrupted my nonsense for some of your own.
Or more.
So
yeah.
I feel like the problem that we are going to talk about and give some clarity around,
hopefully,
is part of the. Most of the time, people don't get to this part of the episode. Do you guys agree?
They give up.
They just give up. They get attracted by the topic. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's a real problem of mine. I really want to solve that." And then like 20 minutes in, they're like, "What is this shit?"
And then we let them down.
And it's like that picture where you're like a quarter of an inch away from the diamonds, and you're like, screw it, they're not there. You just turn back.
You just walk away.
I feel like that's what happens. Yeah, I feel like that's every single episode. So there was a post in the Online Trainer Academy students community, and like that community is turning out to be an incredible community. Super supportive. It's awesome. Like it's really, really cool. And so a new student, I'm not going to say who it was, but a new student posted. And he just put it out to the group, right? And he said, "I'm super cool with taking certifications and learning, but the whole putting myself out there part is super hard."
Right.
Talk amongst
that's it? That's okay.
That's his contribution.
I didn't hear any punctuation. I thought it was a comma. I didn't know it was a period. Okay. Yeah. So, and this is where the struggle happens, right? So I'm going to toss out that I think that there are a few reasons why this happens. I think reason number one is sort of comparison, right? I think maybe reason number two is a little bit of imposter syndrome. We've all been there. And I think reason number three, and you guys can correct me on the third reason, I think that reason number three is that you've not yet really nailed down who you're talking to. So you can't feel any sense of confidence that what you're about to put out is worth putting. You're guessing at the content.
Yeah.
You're more so in the frame of mind of trying to figure out what people want to hear than you are in speaking directly to the people that need what it is that you do. You're trying to figure out, will people like a video better? Or I heard people like Instagram Reels better. Or I should do a thing where I dance and point at words that appear in the air. Like you're focused on that.
Can we talk about that thing where people dance and point at words in the air?
It's my favorite thing to hate ever. No disrespect to anybody out there that's doing it. Keep doing your thing. I'm sure your clientele, your demographic connects with it. Oh man, but it's
I'm gonna tell you right now that for those of us whose brain thrives on motion, active, switching, and like it makes our brain tingle. We love that shit. So if you are the kind of creator who needs to put content out like that, we are here for you. We will watch your stuff because we need that fast movement, fast everything kind of.
I get it, man. I'm not hating on it. Like, it seems to work. It seems to get attention. It's one of those things where, like, out of all of the things in the world that you could be spending your time,
it's low-hanging fruit. It's easy to create. Like, it's imperfect, but it works. It gets the point across.
This is what I don't know. Read a book. Like, I get it. I mean, I get that it works in terms of getting, like, people to see it. I mean, I'm not one to talk. Like, my social media is not, doesn't get all of these crazy eyeballs and stuff. So maybe, like,
man,
what
I wouldn't give to see Jonathan Goodman shimmying his hips, pointing at words appearing in the air. That would be the pinnacle of my existence as a human on the internet. You can single-handedly rewrite your internet persona, Jonathan.
I know.
By just that one simple post.
Right there. And I just want to remind you all throughout this episode that all this critique is coming from the man who puts purposefully obtuse comments all over Facebook. That is his strategy. That is what he has to offer. So, take it from there. I don't know.
He's on. That's how he stays on brand. Putting just ridiculous comment. But Jonathan, I think you're about, before we talked about that, we were talking about sort of the three things like imposter syndrome, comparing yourself to other people, and maybe not having a very nailed down target that you're going after. Those things to me seem to complicate a person's ability to put out content, to execute, to put themselves out there. You guys discuss.
You guys discuss. You can't throw that back at me.
You're throwing that ball around.
I would love.
Next, I get to call an Amber.
I feel like we all do need to get like a big bright red ball or something, and we just pretend to throw it around to each other.
Throw the ball. Yeah. It appears in the other person's camera.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be kind of fun.
That's nice. That's nice. That'll work.
Somebody gonna make a joke about a big blue ball in Amber's house. I feel like
she's so detached now. She doesn't care.
Yeah, she doesn't care. I would love to talk about courage at one point before this episode is done, but I want to hear from Amber first because I think Amber has a lot to say about this. And I've seen her talk to people about. I mean, it's easy to just say to somebody like, "Just execute, man, imperfect action." But there's so much going on behind it. Everybody has what's the best way to say this? Two people often have similar goals. The person who ends up succeeding is not because their goal is different, it's because their actions are different.
Absolutely.
And so what leads to that? I mean, there's a lot of failures along the way. Some people rise above, some people don't. And there's a lot of self-talk. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. There's always a lot of stuff kind of trying to pull us back. All of us, myself included. And I think, Amber, all of the work that you've done with our Online Trainer Academy students and all of the work that your team of team of mentors do with our students really speaks to this. Because you and I both know, Amber, that once people start executing on the Academy materials, they crush it. But it can take some time to get to that point, and they got the blueprint, they got the community, they got the mentors, right? It can still take some time. So I'd love to hear from you, Amber, if there are any kind of patterns that you've seen that perhaps lead to an inability to execute and that can help people get over it, or that you've seen help people work through it on their own.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we're all afraid of being judged. And that's kind of the biggest thing, that we're afraid that someone's going to call us out and call us stupid. And I mean, this was something that held me back for a long time. Like, the worst thing you can tell me, you can call me ugly, you can call me all sorts of things that give a rat's tail, but like tell me I'm stupid, and like that's like the ultimate insult. And so like I live in fear of someone telling me that I'm dumb. And so I think a lot of us are kind of like that. And so in order to protect ourselves, we just don't do anything. And so we're happy learning and safe in our little bubble. And so, I mean, even like when you guys call me, like I turn red, right? And still 94 episodes later, and I still do it. It freaks me out. But I do it anyway. So, yeah.
I mean, I guess they could have seen that because it's on the phone.
I mean, I was gonna say that, but you know.
It's on the phone.
Wow.
Yeah, it's on the phone. Right.
You know, I think as far as, you know, trying to get past it, over time you learn to laugh at it, and it's kind of like, you know, pointing it out yourself first, like doing a live. Like everyone's like, oh, I can't do a live, I'm scared, and you know, oh, I did it and then I messed up and I had to start over. Like just call it out, right? Like, oh man, I totally flubbed that. Like, oops, let me start over, and laugh at it. And it's just kind of exposure therapy. I mean, you the more you do it, you get those reps in, eventually your system won't react so negatively to it. And just knowing that you are going to screw up. I mean, there's no way to do this and not screw up. So I think just going into it knowing that you are kind of helps take the pressure off. Like, you don't need to be perfect at this. I mean, we're still learning all the time. We hire other people for the academy to help us continue to learn and grow. So, I mean, despite doing this for as long as John has been doing this, we still reach out to others to help us do better. So I think if you go into this with the right mindset that, yes, I'm going to screw up. Yes, I'm going to embarrass myself at one point because this is life. And you know what? I can do hard things. This is part of the job, and the job is getting through those things.
Yes. I think one piece that often gets lost in this whole conversation is the fact that you are struggling is such a gift, because that struggle allows you to relate and to connect to the people who need to hear this message from you. What a valuable circumstance to be able to say, like, hey, you know, for those of you who are terrified of stepping into the gym, guess what? I've been trying to talk myself out of doing a live video because I feel the same. Like, now suddenly you're relatable. It's like, oh, wow, I've been seeing you as a person on my phone or my computer who knows and does all these amazing things, but suddenly you're a human, and a human that goes through difficult things like I do, who, you know, I'm a person afraid of the gym, for example. Like, so that makes you relatable, but you need to be able to talk about those struggles. You need to put that armor down of being like the be all, know all, and like just allow for your life experience to really shine through the stuff that you share. And that's the part that gets really scary, because you have not yet understood the power that lies behind being able to do that.
Yeah, one of the things. Sorry about that. Who's that, Amber? Go ahead. One of the things that I try to tell the students when I'm on mentorship calls, if I can, I like to end the call by letting them know, particularly if we're talking about something that they're about to take action on. I like to let them know that you're going to mess it up. You know, there's no way to do this without making a mistake. That's what I like to say. That's a phrase I usually. Hey, you know, there's no way to do this without making a mistake. You just can't possibly prepare for every single possible contingency. Some of it is ad lib. It's just what it is. Some of it's improv. You know, it's going to happen. I think highlighting that gives them permission, because again, I think that we're in a highlight reel society, right? Particularly when you talk about online coaching, because obviously a lot of what we do is through social media. And the nature of social media is highlights only, typically. So it's easy for people to think that the highlights that they see are results of actions that were error-free. Like, Amber decided to do it, and then she did it perfectly, and now it's succeeded. Like, they don't see the 8 tries, you know, that happened between inception and the highlight happening. All the passes dropped that were tossed to us. But I don't even know what that says.
Permission to talk.
Yeah, oh, okay. I didn't know what that said.
Request to speak.
I thought it said practice to chalk. Jonathan, go ahead. You know, jump in here. You've got a sheet of paper. Why not?
I want to share something that I wrote 3 years ago now. And this is actually one of my favorite things that I've ever written. It's probably one of the most meaningful to me, and it's about courage. And I wrote it after I read a book called The Courage to Create by a psychologist named Rollo May. And Rollo May's books have been pretty important to my development. I actually picked up the first one in a little store in Lahaina on Maui called Friends of the Library for 50 cents.
Of course.
That makes sense.
And I think it was called what was the first called? I don't know. I'll get the name for you. But this one's called The Courage to Create. Anyway, so I wrote this after that, and it's about courage. And so I'm going to read it for you really, really quick. It's called "You'll Figure It Out," and it goes, "In order to develop tremendous confidence in your own abilities, you must have courage. Courage to ideate and courage to create. Nobody is born with courage. It develops when things don't go your way. Courage develops when you fail. You cannot fail if you don't try. So try a lot and fail a lot. So long as your failures are not catastrophic, embrace them. The punishment for failure is never as bad as we fear it will be. Acknowledgement of this forms courage. In most cases, failing is not absolute. Instead, it represents a new challenge, one you didn't account for, and one that forces you to figure out a solution. And over time, you become pretty good at figuring it out. And over some more time, you get pretty confident that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out. None of this happens if you don't try stuff. So try stuff. You'll figure it out. And so I want to break that down a little bit, because particularly the part about punishment for failure is never as bad as we fear it will be. We always fear that things are going to be awful because we don't really understand them. I've spoken about this time and time again on this podcast, but like, once you actually do something and it doesn't go well, or once somebody calls you an idiot on the internet once, you're like, I mean, I still slept.
Yeah.
My kid still loves me. I still got a hot wife. Like, I'm good, you know? Maybe this random stranger on the internet that's having a bad day that lashed out at me for absolutely no reason, that knows nothing about me, maybe I just shouldn't take their opinion that strongly, you know? But it kind of needs to happen. And probably a few times. For you to be able to literally just laugh at them and feel bad for them. But it's really, it worries you for reasons that it would be if it doesn't happen. And the same thing if you like try something and it doesn't work out. You know, you put money into something, you put time into something that doesn't work out. But if you actually think about it, think about what happened and what came out of it, you're like, okay, well, at the end of the day, you're going to figure it out. Right? You're going to figure out something from that. It's going to set you on a new path, whatever it is, as long as it doesn't take you out of the game. And this is why I hate these people who I consider evil, that try to shame young, enthusiastic coaches into spending money they don't have, going into extreme debt in order to sign up for this program to somehow make tons of money. Because if it works, great. But if it doesn't work, they're taken out of the game. And that's not okay.
Yeah.
It's never okay to be in that position. No matter what, you have to give yourself an opportunity to take another swing at the play. Because then if something doesn't work out, well, now you got courage. Right? And that builds on itself. And then you look back and you forget that you were ever worried.
Yeah.
And then you can act like an idiot with 3 friends on the 94th episode of a podcast. We've spent like 94 hours
Oh my god.
talking to each other like this, guys. Like, can we just think about what else we could have been doing in that amount of time? We should create a list.
Else.
I feel like for 100th episode, we should make a list of how many better uses of time we could have had in 100 hours.
Oh my god!
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Once
You
you put it
make
like this.
some valid points in your writing, Jonathan. This makes sense. You know,
Thank you, Arnold.
you don't get out unscathed. Keto, I know you did. I know you did customer service, and we both had that background, phone service. You were doing collections, right?
No, it wasn't collections. It was actually
Okay.
like a calling cards. It was all calls,
Okay.
connecting international calls before
Okay.
the era of smartphones and all this kind of
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
Hmm.
I did collections, and so I was outbound. You were inbound. Was that right?
Did
Yes.
collections? I thought collections came after you. Were you on both sides of the coin?
No, I did. No, I processed collections for a credit card company. I was the guy that called to tell people that their bill was due.
Oh wow.
It was late. But did you do outbound, Keto? Did you
No,
dial out or everything?
it was inbound. All the calls
Okay.
just arrived in my screen.
What the reason I said that is because one thing about doing like outbound calls for collections in particular, or any type of sales, is you have the fear of someone being mean to you, right?
Right.
And for me, it was always the same. Like I sit down, and I hate sales. Like it's not my favorite thing. I'm not a natural born salesperson. It's a skill that I've developed over time. But one thing I hate is not being liked, for no reason, right? Like if you don't like me, I probably actively took steps to make sure you didn't. I'm okay with that. But just randomly not being like that's a fear of mine. That's a personality thing for me. So I would sit for like the first 10 minutes, frightened that someone was going to hang up on me today.
Right.
I'm going to call somebody. They're going to be me. And invariably what would happen is after the first person hung up on me that day, the rest of the day was a breeze, and it sort of speaks to what Jonathan's saying, in what he just read to us, man. Like, who was it? Is Seneca, right? The philosopher that said we suffer more in our imagination than we do in real life.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
exactly what happens, right?
Yep.
You build up how bad it's going to be. Somebody's like, don't call my house again, damn it. Hangs up on you like, oh, all right, go on to the next one. And then I would have a stream of, like, I'm back-to-back calling from that point. So you sort of got it out of the way. I've heard it put a lot of ways to the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. The win you so desperately want is tucked behind the loss you're too scared to take. It's all saying the same stuff, right? You have to take a lump. Even the philosopher and rapper Lupe Fiasco, who is loosely associated with Jay-Z, in one of his now he's famous for the song Kick Push, which is a great song. It's a great rap song if you're not familiar with it. But in one of his other songs, he said it goes kick and push and coast. It's a good song, really nice song. I'll send it to you, Jonathan. I won't post it because I don't want your obtuse comment on my social media, but I will message you on back channels the song so you can critique it for yourself.
First got it when he was 6, didn't know any tricks.
Oh,
here we go.
no,
Matter of
he's
fact,
going
first
to
time he got on it, he slipped,
Oh,
landed on his hip, and
no.
busted his lip. For a week, he had to talk with a lisp. Like
Somebody
this.
disable
Like
his
this.
microphone,
So-
please.
No, that particular song is about skateboarding.
Oh, wait.
That's
Landed a misfit, a bandit, cucump. His neighbors couldn't stand it. That's a good lyric.
Yeah, it is a good look.
That's a good lyric.
His neighbors couldn't stand it because he was, the skateboard was. In any case, in one of the songs, he said the struggle is proof that God loves you because on the low, being poor teaches you how to hustle. So the things that you feel like are obstacles are really setting you up for success. You got to be willing to dive into it. But generally speaking, man, if you execute on something, you split the time in half that it's going to take you to learn it. Like, you just can't theorize all of the things that you need to do to make successful, to create a successful, venture, whatever it is you're doing, without jumping into it, man. And we're all doing that all the time. We're all out here just figuring it out as we go. Keto, you don't have a request to speak card, but
I don't. He took them away. They're at his office now. I'm very sad.
I think that's the only logical thing to do in your case. But, I don't think.
Take away.
I don't think any. Yeah. You do require a certain level of chaperoning. If if I can be blunt, I'm a bit frightened.
I need a handler too? Is what you're saying? I need a handler too?
Well, the last time you were unsupervised, there was a full 16-count musical number on your, on your Instagram. like she doing a full...
Reels, people. It was a mambo. I danced a mambo.
Yeah. Carolina has Instagram? I got to go on it.
Yeah. I was like, did she just do a full 16-count chorus line mambo? Is that
what's your Instagram, Carolina?
Sweat Glow, one word, at Sweat Glow.
Sweat Glow.
Okay, so what I was going to add to the conversation, Ren, thanks for asking, is that...
Oh, you went on a hike with Jeff.
Oh, stop it.
Second hike of the day, warm sunshine, and this guy hugged. That's beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. What in the world is going on with this mumbo thing?
Oh my God. That is art right there.
What is going on? Oh, this is wonderful.
It's a very, very short skirt too. I was wearing a bodysuit under though, so everything was fine. It was fine, okay, people? It was fine. So may I finish?
Oh, protein latte again. You talk about the protein latte again.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you disable Jonathan to mute him?
Yes. Mute Jonathan, please. Amber, you need the controls to mute Jonathan.
Go ahead, Kiddo. Let us hear your point.
Yes. So my final thought on this is that, yes, we talk a lot about imperfect action, but I think more than that, there has to be a little bit of recklessness to us. Like more, like a little bit more of like not caring, because you have to be prepared for the fact that it's going to suck sometimes, probably right off the bat. Some people are not going to like, or it's not going to land the way that you want. And that's okay. So in that, like, there's freedom in being a little bit reckless. And this comes from someone who can be very reckless in her life.
Clearly.
There's like, you gain so much more than you ever imagined. Just when you dare, just when you throw yourself and you take that leap of, the proverbial leap of faith. And it can just be a leap of fun, or a leap of not caring, or a leap of make it whatever the heck you want, but leap.
Yes. Sometimes you learn, sometimes you earn. That's pretty good. That's
pretty good. That's right. I like that.
What I'm hearing from you, Carolina, is, so come roll with me, just a rebel looking for a place to be, so just kick and push and coast. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly it. Full circle.
Come roll with me, just a rebel looking for a place to be, so let's kick and push and coast. It's a great song. I'm literally going to sing that song. It's a great song. The train came by, which means our time is up here on the Online Trainer Show.
We did it.
94.
Episode 94. Episode 94.
Our train of thought literally passed by just a moment ago. I don't know if you heard it, but that means we've come to the end of another podcast. I hope that you enjoyed the Online Trainer Show today. I don't have my papers, so I can't do the ad for the Online Trainer Academy. Catalina, you want to throw another one out there? I so enjoyed your Latina version of let's do it.
Ready? All right, here we go. Llévelo, señora, señorita, marchantita, que no le digan, que no le cuenten, es el OTA. El Online Trainer Academy es la única institución en donde puede usted perseguir su éxito profesional entrenando en línea. Llévelo hoy.
Somebody just do the jingle. I can't follow that. Jingle. Oh man, that was lovely, Keto.
This is the Online Trainer Show. This is the Online Trainer Show. We shouldn't have a podcast.